But we do want to go back to the mayoral race. This is just last month in October, you had more than 1,000 rabbis actually sign a letter saying that they were concerned that Mamdani, if he wins in New York, would be a threat to the Jewish residents here. And yet we see this overwhelming victory tonight.
Many of those young people and some of the older people are Jewish as well. 30%, they say, at least 30% of Jews. We'll see that.
Which Donald Trump said anyone who votes for Mamdani
is stupid.
Who's Jewish is stupid.
He said that today. Was kind of surprising, I think, to me. You guys know him better. You know better than most people about what he does.
He sometimes says things that are a little over the top.
Sometimes he's been known to say that. But more importantly, or not equally importantly, what he's done so far is cut money. Billions of dollars of money from New York and New Jersey already. Yep. He's already thinking now that if he got elected, the young man who's now going to be the 111th guy to run the biggest city in the state, in the country, he would take the money away, start to take it away. So what's going to happen now? For New York, this is a big deal. The people who ran against him, some of them, are they going to help him when they try to fix this? Because Mr. Trump's going to go on after them and after this guy. 34 years old. He said things, by the way, that said, well, you know, I apologize for some of the things I said. He spent a lot of time apologizing for what he did when he was 24. Do you remember when you were 24? Would you have changed it when you were 34? Maybe most of us would have. So I think he's got a lot to do. Can these people who fought him in this join him?
Now rally around him. I mean, because he's going to need all the help he can get. Look, I mean, the city's got massive challenges. He's made a series of promises that are going to be, you know, really hard. Some of them impossible to fulfill.
Can he do it?
So the question is, can he improve life for people in New York who feel that life is not affordable in this city?
And what do you say about that? What do you say to the young people who are saying, because that's really the bigger issue here, that people say, I can't afford to be here. This is something very interesting. The current people who are running this city say that by the time of 2030, 4 years from now, there are going to be people above the age of 60, be 25% of the population. Half of them will not be able to afford to live in New York. What do you do with that? This is the city. When's the last time we heard them say, you know, start spreading the news? This is not what New York's about right now. And this is a big deal.
And Mary, just as we said it, of course, Trump was
listening. We were worried if his phone was broken, but the president has responded here, and he is saying that there are two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight. He says Trump wasn't on the ballot and the shutdown. Now, the president is citing that to pollsters, but the reality is that President Trump's policies were definitely on the ballot.
But wait a minute. What is he talking about, the shutdown? He's told us that Democrats are to blame for the shutdown.
Well, I was getting there, John.
Yeah. What? I mean, I'm confused.
Well, exactly. And the point is, voters sent a clear message about President Trump's policies. Certainly, all the Democrats that won tonight were running against the president. Now, to varying degrees, you have Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill, who certainly were running very anti-Trump campaigns. Here in New York, you could argue that Mamdani, while running against Trump, was also certainly running against the Democratic establishment as well. But by putting affordability, the economy, the cost of living front and center, they are sending the president a very clear message. And number two, on the shutdown, the president has argued for 35 days now that this is the Democrats' shutdown, so I'm not sure how you can argue that Democrats would be winning because of that. Certainly, Democrats in Washington are hoping that Republican leaders in Congress and the president are looking at these races and seeing that health care, the affordability of health care, are a central critical issue for voters, and that they're going to be willing to come to the table. And again, the president, first thing tomorrow morning, meeting with Senate Republicans at the White House. A lot of questions about whether this is going to be the thing that finally forces them to make a deal.
Bill, I want to bring you back in here with regard to Mamdani.
I like talking and listening to her. That's
we like talking to you.
Can I ask Mary a question? Do you mind?
Uh-oh.
Bill, let's go have lunch.
No, because he said it's the shutdown, and it's also because Trump is not on the ballot.
Yeah.
When is Trump going to be on the ballot again?
I believe, you got a while. And never, because he can't run again.
So what does that mean for the future of the Republican Party in this Trump worldview?
I'm glad you asked, because the other thing that you're hearing from Republicans close to Trump, when Trump was silent, when his thumbs were getting ready earlier in the night, some of his aides were working overtime on Twitter and X, and they're saying the reason the Democrats were losing tonight is because, candidate quality, the candidates weren't strong enough, and also that if you don't have really MAGA candidates out there, that they won't drive, that without them you won't drive enough voters to the polls. The problem is, as we were discussing during the commercial break, everything changes when Trump isn't at the top of the ticket. And when he isn't truly on the ballot, you see a completely different landscape. And Trump is not on the ballot. His policies are. And that's going to be true next November, and it's going to be true during the next presidential race.
Did he say anything yet about Dick Cheney?
No.
No.
Right.
Good question.
Former president not saying a word about a two-term vice president.
And many Republican leaders haven't as well, because they're looking to the White House for cues on that one, too.
25 years ago tonight, the election that actually made him vice president.
Big difference.
But Bill, we just want to go back on Mamdani here for a second, because as we've been discussing and has been discussed for months now in this mayoral race, can he actually do these promises that he has said? But does that matter? Because people still overwhelmingly voted for him, knowing that, okay, Hochul's going to have to sign off on these taxes for billionaires. It's going to get us the free childcare and the free buses and the freeze on rent. But if he can't do it, is it just that he stands for change and stands for affordability?
And I think he's going to try to do things for people. If he can get some of this stuff that he said, I think he has a better shot at it. But he won't. Let's just say he won't be able to do that. He can't really get free buses because he doesn't control the bus money. He can't do a lot of things because he doesn't control it. He can't say the minimum wage because the state does that. He did it when he was in the assembly. So I think that's an issue. But I think he's a very smart guy. He has said I'm sorry to so many people in this city,
Including the police.
including the police. He went to them, talked personally to them, talked quietly to them, talked publicly to them. Again, when you were 24, did you say something just kind of different? Sure. I know I did. So in that way, maybe he should have waited till he was 40. I don't know. He's a very smart guy. I think he will take criticism, and he will be able to take real things that say, hey, I can help you, kid.
I think one of the key moments in this race, maybe this is from a national perspective, but it said something about the kind of candidate he is, the kind of politician he is, was making the decision to go on Fox News. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just to go on Fox News, it was a total, interview without time limits.
Looking into the camera, talking to people.
Giving a message to Donald Trump, doing it all. And he is now going to face not just all the problems in New York and not the practicality of what he can actually get done, but also being the primary focus of national Republicans. Just take a listen to Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, his statement on this race. And I'll just read in part. Democrats in New York City have chosen a true extremist and Marxist, and the consequences will be felt across our entire nation. Zohran Mamdani's election cements the Democratic Party's transformation to a radical, big government, socialist party. And he goes on for 3 more paragraphs.
And goes on to talk about defunding the police, seizing private property, and massive tax increases. But you were going to say.
Well, I say, in addition to being the subject of so much ire from Republicans and having to sort of be the face of the Democratic Party in many ways, because that's what Republicans are going to force Mamdani to be, he is going to be the primary foil for President Trump. And so how do you go about doing all of these, this lofty to-do list, which is a lot to get done, while also, constantly being attacked and poked by President Trump, who at the same time is cutting, billions of dollars in federal funding.
It's a huge challenge,
It's
right?
a lot.
It is, and it's up to New Yorkers to finally say, in a place that is setting the table for how we're supposed to deal with all these different ethnies that are there, right? How many people are here from different countries, right? How many are here? And he's going to have to lean on them. They're going to have to say, we're here to help you.